Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the globe. Welcome back to day 2 of BSG Lustrum. I am Zonorous, and I will be your host for this game and the next 2 games. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and starting off day 2 of BSG Lustrum is our boy Frosty with Luigi's Mansion. So, Frosty, the stage is all yours. Good luck.
Thank you, Zonorous. Yeah, welcome everybody to day 2. It's gonna be fun to play this game because it's a game that's very dear to my heart. It's how I started at BSG, but I'll talk plenty about that during the run. So, assuming that tech is ready, so I'm just gonna do a countdown, and if it's not okay, then I'll hear later. Alright, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go! So yeah, this is Luigi's Mansion, 80% knowledge found. Let me talk a little bit about what the run is about. I've shown this game a few times before, but you know, today we're celebrating the BSG anniversary, so I definitely want to talk a lot about BSG stuff as well. Oh, something is weird about my controller. Hang on. There we go. It's fine. It's, for some reason my R button was acting out weirdly. We're off to a great start with this run, so this is a sign that I shouldn't be talking about it. And anyway, Luigi's Mansion, we gotta find Mario, lots of ghosts, we have a vacuum to capture ghosts. That's, I think, about it. That's basically all you need to know about this game. So, there's like a couple of strats that I'm using at, you know, it's so weird doing this game like this, where I'm super used to just doing full commentary mode about the game. I can talk about this game, but maybe that's not the goal of today. Today is all about celebrating these games. So yeah, we're capturing a few ghosts here, and I'm gonna just start talking about BSG moments. So yeah, this is definitely a game. This is the very first game I've ever submitted to a BSG. It was February or... Wait, no. I should start at the beginning. Of how I learned of BSG. Because at first, this is like approximately around BSG number 6, BSG number 7. At that point, someone contacted me called Dutch J. At that time, I ran Luigi's Mansion and Mario Sunshine. And I knew Dutch, as I've met him in real life before. And at one point he messaged me on Discord and being like, hey, I know that you live in the Netherlands, and did you know that we have a speedrun marathon in the Netherlands? And I was like, what? I definitely didn't know of BSG at that point, and he was like, yeah, you should definitely join. Like, he went there like a few times and he was like, really had a lot of fun there, so I was like, alright, yes, I definitely want to join. Unfortunately, at that time, I was studying at Rhodes, so it took me a few more months before I actually would have been able to join. So, at that time, approximately around February 2017, at that time, I was back home, and I remembered it vaguely back in my mind that BSG was a thing, but didn't actively go for it yet. At one point, though, I was in someone's stream. I think it was Javi's stream, and there I was a more frequent visitor there, and there were some other frequent visitors there as well. And one of them was a good friend, Niana. She followed Javi as well, and she also lived in the Netherlands. And she really wanted to attend the BSG as well because she actually knew someone as well, Kinnan, who went to BSG as well. Gotta pay a little bit of attention maybe what I'm doing in the game. I think so far I'm doing fine. But yeah, so we were talking in chat, and she was like, she was nervous to go. I was nervous to go as well, and then at that point she was like, oh, Frosty, you should really submit Luigi's Mansion. That'd be great. And at that point we made the deal that if I would submit Luigi's Mansion, and it would make it in, and it would make it into the marathon, that she would come as well. I was like, all right. At that point, I submitted Luigi's Mansion, and hey, it's it got accepted into the marathon first try, and I was like, whoa. I already was super excited about that. I was also very, very, very nervous because it was also gonna be my first ever marathon run that I did, and they thought it was a great idea to give me the opening run. It was, I mean, in hindsight it was fine, but oh my, at that point I was super, super, super nervous to actually I was super nervous to actually attend and get there, so I eventually, on the day of the marathon, I made it to the venue. I never had been to the venue before. It was like my first time just attending as well, so I wasn't even sure if I was at the right building. I was like just standing at the door and like, I think this is the place. I rang the doorbell, and at that point, from the moment I walked in, it was such a warm welcome because everyone was like super excited to see me. Like they were excited to have me, looking forward to my run. And yeah, at that point, still super, super nervous, of course. But luckily there were people around who, you know, who had been at BSG before, and they had a little runner prep talk. I should try to catch this. Oh no, I messed up the fight, but no one will ever know. No one will ever know. Yeah, exactly, Jasper. If you wanna get people used to marathon runs, just give them the opening run, because it did... Since I watched the opening run, I did actually prepare extra much for it, so I would know exactly what to do. I was... Beforehand, I made 100% sure I practiced my commentary, I knew what I was gonna say when. That's probably why I... To this day, I can still do commentary for this game relatively smoothly. Yeah, oh, right, that was the first boss fight. Do we need to know, are we actually interested in what we're doing in the game? I'm just talking stories at this point. So, yeah, still was nervous throughout the run, but luckily there were people around who like sat down with me, had a little talk like, everything's gonna be alright, it's okay, everyone has this. And yeah, that first, I did my opening run there, Luigi mentioned. Commentary-wise, it went really well, like, definitely gameplay-wise, it could have been better, but hey, it was a very, very fun first run that I did. First experience with BSG. And one thing that helps though with being the opening run is like, right, you're immediately done with the nerves after your run, and you can then just enjoy the rest of the event. And since then I've met even on that event already, I met so many amazing people. I remember that first, like, I never had been to BSG, like, sorry that if I'm quiet for now and then, sometimes I need to focus a little bit on the game, just a little bit. And I remember that first marathon, like, I barely knew anyone, so at first I was really, really shy. I hung out a lot with Niana because I knew her. We hung out a lot with Kinnan as well, because she knew Kinnan, so I hung out a lot with him as well. But everyone was like so super nice and friendly. At that time, I was still being called the other Shadow, because at that point, Nandi's username was still Shadow Wolf, and he was called Shadow. So at that point, they started calling me Other Shadow, but at one point I can't exactly remember at which point people started calling me Frosty, but I remember that first marathon a lot of people still called me Other Shadow. I didn't mind, but now that I think back to it, it was like, maybe not the greatest thing. So yeah, that first marathon, I have so many BSG memories to talk about. I'm not even sure if during my full hour I can talk about everything I want to talk about, but we'll see. That first? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Just do this. I'll go for the other ones. It's not so far. This room is not going super smoothly. Can I at least double this? Yeah, there we go. All right, sort of honestly. So yeah, during that first marathon that I attended, I also purchased mass housing because I wanted to stay for the full weekend, and Purple was gonna be a bit too far. But I remember like the first time I had no clue how everything works. So I was like, I saw people were like setting up for mass housing and like going somewhere to bring their stuff, and I was like, wait, is this the moment that I should also be going? What? So I think I I can't exactly remember who I approached, but I remember approaching like, hey, I have mass housing as well. Do I need to do something right now? And they were like, oh yeah, I should probably come as well. Oh, right. Oops. But luckily that turned out alright. I had a place to sleep, and in the end I really enjoyed that first marathon. It was exhausting for me because at that point I was very antisocial. I can admit to that. But that first marathon was like, I was so excited about BSG that for like the next 6 or 7 editions of BSG, I just submitted everything that I had. Like, one game at a time, I just went through my library of games that I ran. At that point, I had also picked up Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 at one point as well. So I remember at one point, like, 8 BSGs in a row, I had like 8 different games in, which was... At that point, I can tell you, at that point you get used to doing marathon runs. Like, after you've done like so many of them, you kind of know what to expect. You kind of know how you should prepare your commentary and whatnot. And yeah, at that point, BSG just became an actual part of my life. Still so excited about it. Like, oh, wait, text boxes. I should pay attention that I don't go into the wrong mention. Because there's like regular mention and the hidden mention. We're right now on the hidden mention, which is like New Game Plus, which just lets us capture things faster. All you need to know. Now we're capturing blues because we need 40 of them to beat the game. With me. Oh yeah, the marathons being monthly. Oh, it was such a standard routine to my life at that point. Like, every month I knew, like, all right, 2 weeks in advance, I have to make sure that I submitted something. Oh. No, oh, go around. There we go. But yeah, it was... At that point I was still attending university, and at that point it was like super easy for me to just like attend for the weekend. Because I was being used to having messed up sleep schedules anyway. Because definitely at first I submitted some of the shorter runs, like by that we just mentioned, Mario Galaxy 80%, which was still a decent, like, acceptable time. I remember at some point that I started submitting my longer categories though. I need to go somewhere else. I'm not thinking at all. We're just gonna walk down here. This is what I get if I start talking about a ton of things and I'm not focused on commentary. Where was I in my talk? Right. At one point I started submitting longer categories as well. And then we get to the famous BSG night shifts where you're basically gonna be awake for like the entire evening and then go to bed at like 8 in the morning. I remember doing quite a few of those night shifts because Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2, they're longer categories. I'm pretty sure both of them were during night hours. Ow. Get back here. Don't escape. That barely worked. Alright. Did we have fun with the runs? Of course we did, Kiara. That's the most important part. As long as you have fun, it doesn't matter how nervous I am in advance. In the end, I don't think I've ever had a run that I was not having fun during. Sure, there's definitely been runs that I've had that I'm not very proud of how I did performance-wise. But, you know, we'll get to that later because I definitely want to talk about that later. Because there's still so many more things that I want to talk about. Because, yeah, for the first 4 or 5 marathons, I was just a runner. But at that point, I was super excited to be part of BSG, and people from, at that point, staff and organizing, I think realized that I really loved helping out. So at that point they were like, hey Frosty, do you want to help on volunteering? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to help. At that point I was asked for doing tech. Yeah, I started as a tech volunteer. I didn't really have a preference for it, but I remember that I think that was the task that needed, definitely needed extra manpower. Oh. Hang on, I gotta do a trick here. So, paying a little bit of attention to... Oh no, I messed up a lot. The boo escaped, oh no! I didn't see where it went! Uh-oh. Oh, it's fine. These things happen. Now we gotta do it this part the old-fashioned way. This kinda is a bit bad though, because I don't know where the boo went. If it went into this room, then I might have to come back later. I think I'm just gonna come back later for that boo. I think. Anyway, I just got a key for a room where, sorry, I need to... Yeah, I need to go here. Stop doing that. There we go. So yeah, this is easy mode again, so I can talk about BSG again. I was asked to do tech because, yeah, tech people were more needed at that point, and I was like, I didn't mind going for tech or host or audio, or I don't think audio even was a specific task at that point yet. I think it was like you either did tech and audio, or you did hosting. It was like a combined task, audio. And yeah, during those first, I think it was right before summer. I had done a few tech shifts and this. Oh wait, what? I got hit by something. All right, that's fine. That means I'm just gonna do this now. I think I got hit by a mouse. Oh well. There we go. Now we got it. I heard that the boo moved. I think it's in here. Hope it's in here. Oh, and it's in here. Oh, then it's in here. Alright, let's see if I can do this game. Alright, that's good. This is a little bit of harder part, so... I'll come back to my story in a second. Oh, really? I messed up. Come on, come on! Oh my god, please. Please, game. Come on, come on. Just capture them, just capture them. I'm done with this room. I'm so done. No! Leave me alone! And all because we want to capture a boo in here. Oh, it's a bomb. That's a bomb. I think it's in this one. I made an extra circle. So, yeah, I started doing tech shifts at... I think this was like June 2017. Not... And at that point, we get to the point of the story where BSG Annual becomes a thing. Because that was gonna be their first week-long event. At that point, I still stayed there because I felt like I was just a volunteer at that point. I mean, it sounds really bad if I think like that, but that was my mindset at this point. Like, I wasn't really part of BSG. I was at that point a volunteer, not part of staff or anything. So it was the event of them. So at that point, I got like a ton of tech shifts. At that point, I really got the hang of tech things because a few times I can tell you I was not competent in how I did my tech duties. It's definitely, if you've never done anything of the sorts of tech, it can be a bit intimidating. In hindsight, it's not that difficult, but definitely the setup back then was more complex than it is today. This is the song where I have to scroll 2 down. Perfect, I know exactly. Please, just burn me. Oh my god. So yeah, BSG Annual was like super fun, and definitely for a lot of people, it's definitely for such a long event where there weren't super many volunteers yet. I remember that everyone was like chipping into... Oh no, why did the boo move? Probably moved back here, didn't it? Oh, I didn't. In this run. It's in the cello. Yeah. During that first BSG Annual, I think in the end I had like 10 or 11 shifts or something. I was fine, but it definitely was... Thinking back of it, it's quite a few hours I've sat behind that tech station. I had fun doing it, so I didn't mind. But yeah, at that point I was really excited to still that I was able to chip in. And around that time the staff and the organizing realized, I think, that they definitely needed more manpower, so me and a few others, we actually got invited to the staff team at that point. And so yeah, that was after like, I think it was, well, first time I attended BSG was in February. It was then in do this? No. I hate when this happens. Oh. These. So, what was I talking about? Right, I became a staff member at that point, like after 6 or 7 months that I was around BSG. Oh, that's not what you do, that's not what you do. Oh my, I need to be careful now. I don't have a lot of health. I know where's the backup part, don't worry. I don't know how this cycle's gonna work out now. This is fine, this is fine. So I became a staff member at that point, just super excited to help out, and I was happy that I could be be part of BSG and help out extra. I think at that point officially I was in charge of cleaning and oh god. Get over here, get over here, don't die, get over here, don't die, get over here, don't die. I'm so happy that I know that there's a backup part in there. Because this boss is can be a bit tricky. Yeah, I was in charge of cleaning and volunteer recruitment at that point, which I think I took those two jobs because it was like, I think around that time they started like making people in charge of certain tasks within the structure of BSG. And they showed me the list and I was like, okay, so apparently there's like no one on cleaning yet, like one person on volunteer recruitment. I was like, sure, I'll go for those because that's who I am. I'm like, this boss is difficult to get on one cycle. And sorry, I'm losing track of my story because there's like a few points in the run where you need to focus, and then now we get to this text box and then I can just talk about more things again. Yeah, at that point I was in charge of those two tasks and some other tasks on the side as well. I remember that was the time that BSG first attended their first external event at First Loop, which was really fun to, like, I learned overall, that's what I can tell from the stories. Like, overall I learned so much from all of the things that I did at BSG, which I'm super grateful of. At that time we went to our first external event, First Loop. I still think we had, like, none of us had like experience with it, so we didn't really have a clue on what to do. So we eventually went there with the idea. We had some sort of a plan set up, and I think it went surprisingly well. I remember that overall people were excited to be there. Of course, not everything went right, but that's what you get for the first time when you're on an event like that. So yeah, I think. So at this point, I thought this through in my head on how I want to talk about BSG, and I just wanted to go sort of with a timeline, go through it. So at this point, it's like end of December 2017, I would say. And I remember that we had a BSG edition where definitely on the Sunday there weren't super many people around. So overall, the first... And hello, please, hello. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I don't know why that took so long. So I remember around that edition, we had an edition where we didn't have super many people. I had a night shift on tech, I believe, or hosting. I might have picked up hosting at that point. And honestly, I was in mass housing. I didn't feel super great. And I was feeling a bit ill. But I was saying to myself, I was like, there were a few other people awake at that point who also had night shifts. Who were like, I mentioned to them like, hey, yeah, I'm feeling a bit ill, but I'll be fine for my shift. But I'm probably just gonna maybe head home afterwards. I'm not feeling that much better. So yeah, I told that to a few people, like the people who were at night shift, and I couldn't like skip on my shift. I felt like you know, we didn't have super many people around anyway that edition, so I was like, yeah, I can't bail out now. So I did my shift. Overall, during the shift, I started feeling better. And I was like, I'm feeling good enough to stay. Like, I kind of didn't want to leave. And during that day, you know, I was still doing fine. We got to the end of the marathon. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I should have captured that earlier. I need to go back, I think. Because oh, it's falling. It actually spawned on the table. Oh my god, please. Thank you. And oh my god, please open it. Please open it, Luigi. I'm telling a story over here. So yeah, I had my night shift from 4 to 8. I had breakfast afterwards. I was doing okay-ish. So I stayed the rest of the day. We got to the end of the marathon where in the end we had to do cleaning. And at that point I was head of cleaning. So I was like, yeah, I need to be here for cleaning. So I'm not gonna leave yet. So we were in the middle of cleaning, and so I think at that point Nienna walks up to me and she's like, hey, Frosty, are you doing okay? This morning you were saying like you were not feeling super great, and right now I didn't grab ice. I need ice for this next room. Why didn't I grab some ice? How could I forget? I'm Frosty. I should know when I can grab the ice power up. So I think she walked up to me and was like, hey Frosty, are you okay? You were feeling ill. Maybe you should just go home, you know? You did enough today. You're already been in good health. Well, at that point I was like, nah, I'm fine. I'm fine, you know? No, I was stubborn. I felt really bad to leave at that point because there weren't that many people around. So I was just saying like, yeah, I'm still doing okay. If I'm really not feeling okay, then I'll tell you, and then I'll go home and don't worry about it. It was like, all right, if you say so. So I went on cleaning for a little bit longer, like for like 20 minutes more or something. And after that point, more people had approached me about that exact same thing. Like, still asking like, hey Frosty, are you okay? Weren't you sick this morning? Yeah, okay, maybe. And then with a bit of a struggle on my end, I was like, all right, I'll go to bed, or at least I'll go home. I still had a bit of travel to do as well, so that's also the reason why they were like, all right, you should definitely just go home. So I did that, and I felt on the one hand I felt really bad that I left while they were still in the middle of cleaning. But on the other end, I was like happy that I could get some sleep because I didn't have a lot. And I don't know, it's in over here. I forgot. No, it's this one. Oh, please, not the fire. Thank you. So yeah, at that point, I made it home. I sat down on my bed and I was like, I said, like, we usually do at BSG, like, when you make it home, you're like, hey, made it home safely, don't have to worry. And I'm pretty sure that they didn't plan this, but I remember, like, multiple people sending me, like, a direct message at that point, being like, all of the messages were in the sense of, like, hey, Frosty, thank you so much for helping out. It's been a great help that you were here today. It was really fun hanging out with you today. And, you know, it was probably also a bit due to the tiredness, but at that point that really hit me really hard. And I was like, aw. it was really a moment that I felt like I was... At that moment, that was the moment that I actually felt 100% part of BSG. Just with so many people being worried about me, that they were happy to have me around. That, yeah, from that moment, that was a moment that it really hit me that I was part of it. So, yeah. Sorry about that. It's definitely a trip down memory lane right now. And yeah, I think it is around that time that since I felt so welcome at BSG, I felt like such a big part of it. I was asked to be an organizing member, to take that extra step, and I felt honored to do it, because BSG up until that day had meant so much to me, and I felt super excited that I could also do that for other people, hopefully. Hopefully, of course. So yeah, at that point, like, all of this happened like within the span of a year or something. It's that year was definitely a hell of a ride for me. So yeah, that's where we're in 2018 now with the story. And sorry, I'm losing a little bit of track. Where I wanted to go after this with the story. I knew I wanted to tell this story because it's definitely one of the fondest memories I have of BSG, that specific event after getting home. Like, sure, there's been many great memories of BSG, you know, but that one will always stick to me on a very personal level. Can I do this? Can I do this? Okay. This room can be a little bit tricky if you don't know what you're doing. Which apparently I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, the next part of the story. Where are we? We're in 2018. I just became organizing. And we've definitely... I remember at that point, for me personally, was... how do I describe this? That part of life was interesting for me, besides BSG, because up until that point, like, I'm gonna get real personal now. It's definitely most of my... I always just focused on my studies, and everything was always the major part, but with BSG becoming such a major part of my life as well, it definitely started... I can say that it definitely started taking its toll on me as well. Because I was still in the middle of university. At that point... At the moment that I was organizing, I had just finished my bachelor and I started on my master's degree. And at that point, I'm not sure if I want to talk about this. It's becoming very serious, personal, and I'm not sure if this is the event to talk about it. Because we are here to celebrate, after all. let me just. Alright, I'll compromise. Was definitely a hard part of life, or a busy part of life. That's the correct word. It was a busy part of life, but I am very, very happy that BSG was part of my life, though. During that stage of my life. Because it definitely changed me. BSG has changed me over the years. But I would definitely say for the better, because before I ever attended a BSG, I was like, I think I mentioned this before earlier today, that I'm like super awkward, that I wasn't the most social person, but I definitely noticed that BSG had changed me in that sense, that I was much more comfortable doing that. Still not in every social situation for sure, but BSG has made me grow a lot in that aspect as well. Get in there. Yeah, let's go. Maybe if I start focusing on the run, I would perform better. But you know, we're sharing stories. I like sharing stories. So... yeah, that's approximately my origin story for BSG. I wanted to get to this point, and honestly, I thought it would take me longer to get to that point. Hello? Hello? Yes, thank you. Nice, I got the text box skip, let's go! Alright, we're going back. Finally going back to the fortune teller. And that means I can... yeah, after this I need to remember to grab the in the room to the side. Alright, this is text box smashing. Alright, that is perfect moment to talk more about things. Overall, BSG has been... like, I see so many familiar names in chat, and definitely... I've met so many great people through BSG. People who are, like, very close friends of mine to this day. And... I am still so glad that originally that Yenna has convinced me to submit this game to BSG, and that I've been able to attend and made these amazing memories throughout the years. And now with BSG being 5 years, me being there for around 4 years, I'm excited what the future will bring for BSG. This is a lot of text box pressing. It's fun. So, for people who are potentially interested in what's going on in the game, Mario's lost in a mansion. We found like a bunch of his items. Fortune teller tells us about what potentially happened with him. And something about Bowser being back. Here? Nope. Oh, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, get here. I still need to grab this room in this room over here. Return CSC copy would be good to running this game? Oh, definitely! You can... No. Where did it go? Where is it? Where is it? Hello? Oh, I think it's in the painting. Maybe. Or not. Okay. You can run this game technically on any version. If you have the PAL version though, it's definitely a different run though, because the hidden mansion is different. You can definitely run this game on the NTSC version as well. But you gotta remember that, well, I actually just saw in that one specific cutscene with the fortune teller, you gotta click through like so many text boxes. It's definitely saves time having the Japanese, the NTSC Japanese version, just with the amount of text that you have to click through. And it's actually a little bit easier on the Japanese version as well, because you take less damage than on the regular NTSC version. But it's still super doable to run this on the American version, or the regular NTSC version. Only biggest reason I'm just playing this on the Japanese version is because I just had a PAL version, and that version is significantly different because there's more ghosts in total in the mansion. Alright. Really? Come on. Oh boy, double banana dude. Alright, one more. Come on. Grab this chest. Boo. Nice, what's in there? Yeah, I can definitely recommend picking up this game. It's like, it was one of my very first speedruns. It's pretty easy to pick up, I would say. There's like definitely a few hard parts in this game that it takes a little bit to learn, but overall still super fun game to speedrun, to play casually. Alright, so this is the losses. We're gonna be capturing a ton of booze here. And I hope I can do a fast cycle. Alright, but I should be talking more about BSG memories, because we are celebrating the anniversary after all. Yeah, okay. I think I want to go on this a little bit of a serious note as well, though. Like, wait, hang on. Chat. Can we go on a serious note during this, or do we just want to go super celebrating stuff? I can do either of them. I can think of a story for either of them. Alright, it is just 3 of them, that's alright, because then... Oh. Come on, get over here. We're fine. You like you some... You're not in the mood for either? Oh, then that means it's my choice. Hey. Oh, alright, serious notes then. I think this is around BSG Annual 2019. Yeah, it's like... It's a couple of months before BSG Annual 2019. And we're in the middle of preparations for BSG. I was at that point still after like... Okay, maybe I should tell that as part of my story, because I actually was very close to telling this earlier. It's around the time when I became organizing, I was struggling a bit with university. Wasn't really sure if that's the plan that the road I wanted to walk down to. Down off, and I started doubting whether it was a choice for me or not. So at that point, I wasn't sure what I should be doing, what I wanted to do. And after like a few months, after I did my masters, I was like, okay, I need room to think about what I want. So at that point, I decided to take the rest of the year as a gap year to think about like, what do I want to do with my studies? What do I want to do after that? Is this the road I want to walk down to? I came to the conclusion that being a full-fledged computer scientist maybe wasn't the right thing for me. Wasn't entirely sure. But I decided like that I wanted more to go to the education side of. I think that's what you want to bring. So I wanted to study more for education, so I decided, alright, next year I'll take, this was like approximately halfway through the study year, I was like, alright, rest of the year I can just finish my things, like I can take a moment to relax a bit, I know what I want to do, let's go it gives me a moment to think about what I want to do with my life. So I did that. During that period, I was able to do a ton for BSG, which I was super excited about because, you know, BSG at that point was like a super important part of my life. And so that went all fine until BSG Annual 2018. After that, I continued studying. I managed until like, then we get to like December, January of 2019. December 2018, January 2019. I was doing fine on classes that I still had to take. And at that point, the only thing that I had to do was like a research project before I could do the education side of things. I gotta admit, that was not... It's... Unfortunately for me, the research didn't really go that greatly. There were some hiccups with the person who was gonna supervise me. It was... In the end, there just wasn't enough time for me to do the things that I wanted to do there in that year, so... I... couldn't really do anything anymore for the rest of the year, and I started kind of really feeling bad about myself. That I was gonna... I was feeling really bad because I had much less to do for my studies, and then those thoughts started popping out again of me thinking that I wasn't be able to... That I wouldn't be... Oh, how do I say this? I remember that this was not technically in the route. Oh well, at this point it's more words to go for that. Story. I wasn't feeling like I was holding up my standards, that I was doing well enough, and for that reason I started compensating within BSG. I'm not sure the inner circles realized that in the end, but at that point I really started putting in a lot of effort in BSG. Like, Annual 2019 was coming up. I wanted to make everything super great about that event, and I was like, alright, let's go. Yeah. overall, that wasn't that great for me. Oh, I need to do this. I needed... What I should have done is not do extra work at BSG, because eventually I was really getting super low on energy, and at one point I started realizing like, okay, this isn't good anymore. I contacted my doctor and wait, what? I forgot something. I forgot to do something. Oh god. I needed to clear out that... Oh, oops. What am I doing? What am I doing? There was one room more I needed to do in the basement. I forgot. Damn. We're walking back. We're walking back. Don't worry. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We'll find... We'll fix this. Sorry, this is what I get when I distract myself. So yeah, I was... You know, I overdid myself. I contacted my doctor, and apparently he told me that I was getting close to a burnout on the age of 22, 23. Yeah, that isn't super fun and great news to get on that age. Yeah, I'm not panicking, but I'm telling a story. That's more important, right? Oh, okay. Wait, no. Now I sound super selfish. That's not how I meant it. Today, it isn't as much about the run as it is about sharing BSG memories. Oh. Up this chest. This is the key for upstairs. So yeah, I was approaching a burnout, and that was not super great. So at that point, I had to learn that sometimes I need to say no, that I sometimes need to be like, alright, I did enough. Sometimes I can just not try to do everything. And that definitely put me in a period in time where I really had to take a lot of care of myself. So it's definitely the point where this was right before BSG Annual 2019. At the time of Annual 2019, I was starting to do better, but I definitely realized that I definitely wasn't fully recovered yet. And I'm sure that some people might have noticed during that event that I wasn't fully myself, that I was maybe a bit distant now and then. And at that point I didn't feel like sharing that full story with everyone just yet. But I felt like, yeah, it made BSG Annual 2019 such an interesting one for me. Overall, I'm super happy with what BSG reached that event. Like, we were in an amazing venue. Like, oh my god, all the fun things we did do at BSG Annual 2019. And yeah, to this day with BSG Annual 2019, I still have a double feeling within me, because I wasn't fully able to enjoy it just because of that whole situation going on beforehand. At this point I'm doing okay again, so I'm very happy about that. At this point I got a job, and overall I know that I should be getting these things. And it was a bit of a hard time during those, but I managed to properly take care of myself, and I'm in a much better place right now. And there was a reason I wanted to go to tell this story, because I've had my hardships with mental health. So at one point we, as BSG, started to think about, is there maybe like, if there would be any other charity that we would want to raise money for, and Minds came up. I was 100% for that, because me having struggled with that as well, I knew that it was gonna go to a great cause to help people who might struggle with similar feelings that I had. I can just... Oh no, don't get burned, don't get burned. So, yeah, at the moment that came up, that we had that discussion about whether we should change for charity. I'm very happy that we did. We raised a lot of money for the Dutch Cancer Society throughout the years, which was amazing. But I'm also very happy with the amount of money we're raising for Mind right now. So yeah, it's definitely for people who might have noticed me around BSG Annual 2019 and were concerned around that time. It's okay, don't worry, there definitely has been some hardships, but I'm doing much better right now, and I'm happy that BSG is still going so strong, because overall still BSG has been giving me so much support as well. So yeah, okay, that was the serious note that I wanted to talk about. Let's talk about let's end up this run with some more positive notes, you know? I mean, it ended up with exciting stories. Alright, do I have fun things I want to share about BSG? Oh my god, I can talk about so many. I forgot something. I forgot something! No! There was one more room I needed to do upstairs because I need a key, I think. Yeah, there's a key up there. We're walking up again! I see that in chat. See that I'm going over estimate. I can already tell, yeah. Was it the story? The story distracted me a little bit. It kinda... It made me forget about the game for a second. Nah, I didn't forget the story. It's... Oh. Maybe I should talk about the game for a few minutes, that I actually know what I'm doing. So, before we can head to the basement, we actually need the key in this one room over here. Which is in, like, one of the most laggiest rooms in the entire game. Grab your pitchforks. Oh no! I'm sorry. I'll try to go as fast as I can. This one. Oh, no, this one. This one. So now we have a key. I grabbed one boo extra, so I can actually skip a boo somewhere. I don't want to try to go for this one. Oh. It's gonna be pretty tough for me to get there. Oh, no, no, no. Get back here. Oh, don't go to that room. Don't go to that room. This room is dark, so I... Oh, okay. Yeah, I did grab the boo that I missed earlier. So... This room is so laggy. Okay. I'm actually gonna do a strat. I'm gonna save orb. Okay. Because that's slightly faster than walking all the way down again. Let's go. So yeah, I was actually... I really was on autopilot at one point during this run, so I actually went for an old route boo. Which, I haven't done the old route in so long, but the one boo that was in the breaker room, that's... Usually you don't get that one anymore. So now we just need to... I can decide to skip on one boo. Probably... Alright, shall I go for the potential fastest boo? Or should I just go for a consistent boo? Oh. Yeah, the BSG Lustrum, it's 5-year anniversary. It's... In English, it's not a super common used word. But I remember... In Dutch, we use that word a lot, I think. Consistent at this point. Then I shouldn't go for this boo. Why did I capture all the ghosts in here? I'll give the fast boo one shot though. Because this is a great room. If you like ice mechanics, this one's so hard. Right. Grab this key. Definitely want to grab the pearls here. Bye, Luigi! Wait, what? Uh-oh. Wait, it's fine on my end. Tech? Tech? Are people still...
I can hear you on stream.
Uh-oh.
No picture. Oh, I think we're good again.
Are we good?
We're good again.
Okay, okay.
We fixed. Everybody, we're cool.
That was because of the
Thank
frozen
you.
room. The stream froze because of it. Well, there we go. People definitely didn't miss much. Anywho, where was I? I don't know. I kind of lost track of where I wanted to go with my story. I kind of told all the BSG things that I wanted to tell. So, should I talk about the game? No, that's way too easy. I'm just gonna let Luigi go. No. No, oh. No, Luigi, no. No! Mario! Mario? Mario! Oh, I didn't grab an element. Oh well. And we'll do this room without element. Wasn't I the cause of... Fate of... Oh yeah, right. That definitely was the thing. I remember during a Christmas edition of BSG, we drew a manga S on like a piece of paper that was there that was shown the entire stream. I remember drawing that one. I don't know who came up with the name Christmas. Also, we got audio glitch. So, sometimes that just happens in this game where audio just doesn't, or at least the music doesn't play anymore. It's, don't worry about it too much. We're all fine. How about my experiences with Lustrum Gometa? Overall, I'm super excited to be part of this Lustrum. Because overall, I'm happy to see like all these faces that I've met throughout the years. Seeing them run again. Some haven't run in so long, some are still running frequently. Just seeing all those people come together, it really is so wonderful to me that the community is still so tight. Even in this day and age where we're all kind of stuck inside, where we're craving to see each other again, go to on-site events, because that's what all I've been talking about. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun now. Two of them? For that I usually want to have an element. So we can just instantly defeat them. This is like the final portrait ghost we're capturing. By the way, these are portrait ghosts. They're more special ghosts. And since we have an extra boo already, because I grabbed the one in the ice room, we don't have to grab the one in this room. So now I can just walk back to the final boss, because for people who don't know, you need 40 boos to beat the game, to unlock the final door. Oh yeah, that's what happened. That's why Christmas is a thing. We, of course, had... the Christmas events are always so much fun at BSG. We all have Christmas hats. We do baking as well. Like, usually it's Katesu and I who do the baking. Katesu always goes all out. I usually do, like, one thing, and then Katesu comes up with, like, 4 different types of cakes and cookies or whatever. But we always make that one so very festive. And yeah, during that one edition, I drew the manga S on the boards. I don't remember the reason why I drew it on there, but we were setting up the evening beforehand. And yeah, I kind of just drew it at one point. We then taped the Christmas hat on it, and it became Christmas. Alright. This is so anticlimactic that we don't have any music for the final parts. It's like imagine super menacing music, like dum dum dum, the Bowser, oh no, who would have thought that it was gonna be, oh no. Yeah, English is hard sometimes. I definitely noticed that a few past months where I don't stream as frequently anymore, that I'm struggling more with speaking English, like, for a very long time. I think of words in Dutch and then I just can't seem to figure out how I want to say it in English. This is so anticlimactic. It's kinda a sign of how this run went. Alright. Just silence. Yeah, I know, Xia, we're almost done, we're almost done. Oh, okay, maybe not. Fine for now. I was planning to go for a 3 cycle here anyway. So yeah, tech should probably get done on time pretty soon. It's like a minute away or so. Right, we're leaving at over 200 because then we get a faster attacking cycle here. And then hopefully we should be able to be done. The time is when King Boo enters my vacuum. I haven't done a marathon run in so long. I need to mention these kind of things. Well, no, 7 health, 7 health. I'm sorry, Xida. I'm going overestimate. I should have mentioned that probably in advance, because 110, for me, it's kind of a close estimate, actually. If I haven't played this game in so long, I should have expected me not being able to get 110. Alright, and time. There we go, 116. At least 116 on my end. It's could have been better, but you know, I had a lot of fun doing this. It's been great running this game again for the Lustrum. I hope people enjoyed the full run commentary as well. I know the run by itself wasn't super great, but I had a blast just bringing up BSG memories. And yeah, the BSG memories still for the rest of the day. There's gonna be so many more. Hope. And yeah, it's very quiet without the music. It's I'm trying to click through things right now to see if there's maybe music pops up again. But I don't think so. I think sometimes if you do a soft reset, the audio just breaks. It's a common known thing. Anywho, I think that's it for me. So I think yeah, I think the host can take the word on and tell us what's coming up next.
I can surely do that, yeah. Frosty, thank you very much for your Luigi's Mansion run and all of your memories and stories have been pretty good, or pretty interesting rather.
Good to hear.
Yeah, guys, hey, chat, good morning, by the way, if you just joined. We are heading into a quick intermission, and when we come back, it's time for Sonic Heroes by Critical Sid, so stay tuned, and we will be right back.